It's nice to meet you, Abby and Tom. I'm Sheila, your occupational therapist. How are you doing today?
Pretty well.
I'm pretty well. Thanks for asking.
That's good to hear. I'm going to start by asking some questions to get to know you a little better. I want to hear about your roles and occupations or anything that really brings meaning to your life. The purpose of today is to help you determine some goals for yourself. Feel free to answer the questions at your own pace and comfort level. I want this conversation to serve as a way to help you determine what kind of supports you may need to feel successful. Do you have any questions for me before we get started?
Nope.
No, that sounds good.
Okay, great. Can you tell me what your day-to-day life looks like, Abby?
Normally I wake up around 8 a.m. and I start my day. Tom has been wonderful and renovated the bathroom so I can have easy access to get ready. The countertop is at a height where I can sit and get ready since I get tired easily from standing and my balance is not what it used to be. After I brush my teeth and get dressed, I head to the kitchen and make breakfast for Tom and I. Every day looks slightly different depending on if I have laundry to do, anything to clean, appointments, or if the grandkids are coming over. On days where I feel really good, I try to take the dogs out because they need their fresh air. No matter the activity, though, my energy level rapidly decreases and I feel like I'm getting worse the older I get.
That's right. She seems to be doing pretty well, especially after we made the changes to the house.
Okay, thank you both for sharing that. Now I'm just wondering how your weekends might differ from your weekdays and the information that you just shared with me.
On weekends, I sleep in and I don't always follow a routine. Once a month, Tom and I make sure we get a real date night to keep our magic alive. And this MS has really made it difficult, though, to try any sort of adventurous dates now. When we were younger, we would go to amusement parks and national forests for dates, but that's just something we can't really do. On Sundays, I attend my church service and invite the whole family over for brunch. This is a tradition I have had since my childhood, and it's really important to me. My spirituality is something I hold dear and allows my family to gather with a common interest. I used to do all the cooking for brunch, but that is becoming a big task for me. My children have started bringing dishes over and really stepping up to keep this brunch going.
I love seeing the kids, and it seems to really keep Abby's spirits up to spend time with them. I have noticed her slow down a little bit, so I'm glad that the kids are being receptive to that.
So it seems like you really enjoy spending time with your family. I'm wondering what are some supports that help you feel complete with your activities, such as going on your date night, going to church, and then other activities of like your daily routine, like getting dressed, brushing your teeth, things like that.
Tom is my rock. He has always been by my side and makes everything in life. Going on date nights, he makes me feel special and beautiful. My church has accessibility to the building, and I know a lot of other patrons from childhood. As a parish, they are supportive and non-judgmental. They have been going through this journey with me from the beginning.
The community we have at church has been really valuable to us. We've been going for a really long time, and our friends from church have been a huge support since Abby was diagnosed. We were really scared initially, so it was good to feel like people were looking out for us.
That's great to hear. It seems like you have some really good supports in place. Now I'm just wondering what are some barriers that you face while completing your activities? Like I mentioned, going on date night and then your day-to-day activities as well.
Sometimes buildings aren't super accessible because older places mainly have stairs. And there's some activities I'd like to do anymore, but they just aren't possible. A lot of our dates now are low key.
Yeah, we've slowed down a little. I don't mind. It is frustrating when places we want to go to are completely inaccessible.
I understand that can be very frustrating. Do you feel like you face any social barriers?
Some of my friends still hang around, but a lot of them slowly distanced themselves when I started decreasing with my mobility. I think they didn't want to feel like caretakers or deal with the emotional toll. I have joined a Facebook group for people with MS, but that's all virtual. I would really like to have some real interaction with people who have the same interests.
You know, it really upsets me to see Abby more isolated now. She's a very social person, and I know having friends is important to her.
Thank you for sharing that. Next, I'm just wondering, when do you engage in your activities? You stated earlier that you tend to lose energy. Is that more towards the beginning of the day, throughout the day, or at the end of the day, or a combination?
I lose energy as activities get longer. At the beginning of the day, I feel energized, but when I'm done getting ready, I feel a little drained. I take a rest break and feel high energy again in the afternoon. This up and down energy throughout the day is just an endless cycle, but as long as I'm able to take rest breaks between activity, I am functional enough for now.
Okay, thank you. And then Tom, do you notice a pattern of fatigue? Do you think that the changes that you made throughout the house have helped Abby at all?
Yeah, Abby was getting tired all the time, especially in the afternoon. After we set up more places for her to sit down while she's working, she seems to be able to finish them better.
So it sounds like you have a great home environment, especially with the changes that you made. How do you feel walking around in other environments than your house? Obviously, it gets very cold here in Minnesota and tends to snow. How do you think that influences your ability?
The winter months really do make things difficult. Having to put on so many layers makes my movement stiff and sometimes I feel top heavy. Of course, snow makes it difficult to get through the terrain, and ice is the worst since my balance is already wonky. I really try not to leave the house in winter months, which makes life very hard and sad. But I do have my big fluffy dogs to cuddle up with, and they give me something to focus on.
Thank you for sharing that. You previously mentioned that you are a grandmother. Tell me your favorite part about being a grandmother. What are some activities that you engage in or you and Tom engage in with the kids?
Those kids are my everything. The days they come over are the days I look forward to. When they come over, we do a lot of baking and silly games. They are adorable, but their energy is sometimes way above my level. At least the dogs can match their energy and can entertain the kids while I have my little rest break. Recently, Billy has found a huge passion for stand-up comedy and loves to entertain. I can see him making it big when he's older.
Billy's routine is getting pretty good, huh? I see Abby light up around those grandkids.
That's great. Thank you. I also remember that you had a bakery a few years ago because I really liked going in there. And I was wondering if you still bake.
I'm always trying new recipes. Thomas helped create a recipe board for me in the kitchen where I hang all my recipes and measurements that I keep forgetting. The grandkids love helping me, and I hope they really develop my passion and can continue my legacy. We are entering the baking competition at the fair, and I hope this really shows them how hard work can be so rewarding.
Wow, that is awesome to hear that you're participating in the baking competition. What made you decide to join this competition?
I wanted to know that I still have my baking skills, and this really gives us all something to look forward to. Also, teaching the kids a little healthy competition and how to carry themselves is important so that they can become respectable adults.
That sounds like a great idea and plan. Next, I'm just wondering, what are some of your values, beliefs, and traditions that mean a lot to you? I know you've talked a lot about family, so if you could just go in a little deeper about that.
My family is something I value a lot. They have been with me throughout my entire diagnosis and help me almost every day. We have used our faith to guide us in our day-to-day life, which has helped me find peace. We have the tradition of having brunch at my house every weekend after church, but holidays are also a huge tradition in my family. It usually consists of everyone coming over to our house, like cousins, aunts, uncles, and friends. I tend to bake cakes tailored to the holidays we are celebrating, which is always fun.
Thank you for sharing that. I know those aspects of people's lives are very personal. We're wrapping up here. So lastly, I just wanted to know what some of your goals are, both long-term goals and short-term goals that can help you achieve those long-term goals.
I really want to be able to get around better. I struggle sometimes in the kitchen during my baking. I also would like to take my grandkids and dogs out for walks, but I've had a few falls recently while attempting to do that. I've put a lot of effort into the baking competition, so I'd really like to succeed in the competition and be rewarded. I think it'll help to start by finding the perfect recipe and succeeding in baking it.
I think those are great goals, and we will certainly collaborate with one another to create therapy goals that reflect that, all that you mentioned above. Is there anything else you or Tom would like me to know about?
Nope.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we will complete a few assessments. Keep in mind that our sessions will not always look the way that they have today.